Hi, this is Catherine Bachman, and welcome to my YouTube channel. And just wanted to give everyone a heads up. I am downloading YouTube videos now, but we still don't have my website quite finished. But that should be coming online in about 2 weeks. And the website holds all kinds of information. Will hold all my YouTubes, but it will also hold a listing of the services that I offer. So that will be coming, and I'm really beginning to enjoy it once I figured out how to do this whole setup and then became familiar with the video camera. It's become a lot more fun. Today, I want to cover the partial lunar eclipse. And that's the moon is in Pisces and the sun is in Virgo. And this is a very powerful eclipse. And individual planets, I won't go into all of the planets and the configurations, but I want to just mainly talk to you about what are the lessons, what are the energies, and how do we work with them in the most productive and transformational ways, because we are in transformational times. This eclipse will be very powerful. I mean, it's a powerful year, 2024, 25, and 26 particularly. But this year is the year of the final, and not totally final, but the last big push with Pluto in Capricorn, the closure of, what I think is the Piscean age. And so Pluto is now back in Capricorn again at the very last degree, which is very potent. Even though it's such a distant, cold little planet, it shouldn't pack so much power, but it really does when you consider that it is a messenger to humanity. And so what Pluto's job is to expose imbalances of power, money, and sexuality, and corruption and lies and deception. The sign of Capricorn represents top-down rulership and power, government, corporations, structure of the earth itself, the environment, all of the lies from the various groups, from our governments, from leadership, their own corruptions. Capricorn is the sign of karma. Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. So, if we are in integrity, we are absolutely spiritual beings having a human experience. And that human experience, the earth lifetimes, are about learning and helping humanity learning with the goal of moving us toward more compassion, love, and truly away from war. And I think this next 25,000 years, and actually I don't think it's going to take us 25,000 years to move away from that, to move into our hearts, to join our galactic brothers and sisters, to embrace love, compassion, forgiveness, caring, nurturing of each other as well as the planet. So that's kind of our mandate at this time. And I would remind you that every one of us has a role in this process of healing and transformation. In decades past, we could do all kinds of things. We generally, during those years, did not have huge crises on a daily basis. We might have a crisis a decade, or every few years. But there is no protection from our karma at this point. And the reason for that is so that we wake up. And we wake up and we understand that we are the ones that we are waiting for. The Bible talks of Armageddon and, the end of the world. Well, it's truly not going to be the end of the world. I do know that there is a lot of fear out there around that. It is the end of the world as we know it. As we awaken, as we open our hearts and our minds and actually realize that our heart is our most powerful mind, that we've allowed our mind to be poisoned and manipulated over the thousands of years of patriarchal rulership, and and being taught that we are separate from our creator. So this is the time where, humanity's inhumanity. We certainly can see that in the wars that are going on around us, or on the planet at this time, that the cruelty and the abuses are horrific, that war is absolutely horrific. How could we do that to another child of the Creator? How could we do that? So this will be a time that shocks us into an awakening. And that awakening is happening for each and every one of us. And I am the astrologer. I understand these energies. I'm also a psychotherapist. And so my lifetime work has been about how do we heal from birth through the death process? How do we bring respect to ourselves and to each other and those processes? My whole life has been about education. So now is the time to help others understand that you too have a part, and it may be the simplest of things that you can do, but it will make a tremendous difference on the planet at this time. So as we move into the eclipse, eclipses are energies that kind of herald in completion of 19-year cycles and launch. As we come into some of these shocking awarenesses and awakenings, we launch a new 19-year cycle. And so the moon in Pisces, there's a collective grief that is happening on the planet. And the sun in Virgo energy is very healing. It says that this is a time for us to really, really seriously look at what we're doing on the planet, what we're doing to each other, what we're doing to each other in our family systems, and open our hearts and move into more compassion and forgiveness. So, however, as a therapist, I know that compassion, forgiveness starts right here. We have to heal ourselves first. It doesn't mean we can't simultaneously work on healing our family relations, but it's, so that is also possible. So, when you consider the Hopi and the Native American beliefs that at this time and any time we do healing, truly, that we are healing 7 generations back, but we are also healing 7 generations forward because we chose to do our healing. So from that perspective, it's like, yes, there's a lot of grief. There's a lot of fear. And fear is really not where we want to move. We want to take a deep breath, ground ourselves, and however you need to do that. And that can be as simple as taking a 5-minute break and go sit in your closet or in the bathroom or wherever you can find a place where you can lock a door and you can have peace and quiet. And as an early childhood educator in a child care center, sometimes it was just move into the bathroom for 5 minutes and do some deep breathing and release whatever it is that's creating fear in your physical body. Breathe in, hold it, and then slowly breathe out. There's many breath work programs out there. And so find what is comfortable for you, what resonates with you. But this is a time of closure and completion on our disillusionment, our disbelief, our sense of separation, and to fully release that so that we can move into the healing, so that we can move into compassion for ourselves and others, so that we can move into creative energies, and so that we can also move into love, more love for self and more love for others. And the Pisces energy is very subtle, and it can also be, as we all know, being racked with grief is not so subtle at at times. So allow the emotions to flow, allow old wounds, old jealousies, any kind of old energy around our own wounding to come up, and forgive yourself, forgive the other person, and move into release of that energy. And then take a few moments to truly fill your heart with love for yourself and for the other person, and speak to them. It doesn't matter if they're in the same room or they're on the other side of the planet or they're deceased. It's speak to them of your love, of your compassion, of your forgiveness, and ask for those qualities back. But know that you have given that to yourself first and foremost. You know, as we look at those two energies, and truly, you know, Saturn, who is the ruler of Capricorn, Saturn is our karmic planet. And his energy, you know, unlike Pluto, which is death, rebirth, major transformation, Saturn is our work. Saturn is our karmic work in life. And he is also traveling through Pisces. Pisces energy really requires that he softens, that he forgives himself and others, that he has more compassion. Because Saturn, the Capricorn energy, can be kind of rigid. It can say, these are the rules and we have to do the rules. And it's like, you broke the rules, so you are to be punished. And, you know, that is the old paradigm. Punishment really only helps us to remember the punisher. And most of the time we don't remember the lesson we were supposed to get from being spanked or being punished. So it's really time where Saturn is having to also, he's very close to the moon in this eclipse pattern, but for all of us, it's like, particularly for the male energy, and male energy in the sense of men on the planet, but also each of us carry the wounded male and the wounded female. So it's, you know, it's coming up for all of us to become more compassionate and to do things differently, to show up from the heart, not from the old structures, the old rules and old regulations. And to whatever actions that we take, that they are about nurturance. If we have this incredible ability to see all of the faults and broken places and pieces in both people and organizations, I mean, that's, you know, it's how most of us learned how to protect ourselves, was to become very hypervigilant at scanning our environment to make sure it was safe. The safety was from others primarily. You know, when humans were first created, you know, the fight or flight energy really was about surviving being attacked by a mountain lion or a cougar or whatever. And for early humans, basically, we are moving from that paradigm of here's the old rules, and rules from any structures that are predominant on a planet. And this is affecting, with the Piscean energy, is also religion and churches. So in my studies over the years, is the core of most religions is about love and forgiveness and compassion and those things. It's the man-made rules that made them punitive, that made them, a lot of the religions, to be very patriarchal and suppression of women, et cetera, et cetera. So this is going to be a time of a tremendous shift in all of those structures to be more inclusive of caring about other humans, caring for humans. And this country as well, and I'm in the United States, and this country has been going more and more away from those qualities and into power, money, greed. And over the last 80 years in particular. So, and reversing the rights of people and trying to move into, you know, the collective few having everything to the detriment of the majority of the people in our country. So these paradigms are breaking down. They are not sustainable. The world is going through tremendous amounts of change. So for those souls who can detach, and there are many, the awakening is happening. The awakening is happening on so many levels for humanity. We're tired of war. We're tired of abuse. We're tired of the inequalities. This is a beautiful eclipse. If you are holding heart energy, if you are holding hands with the millions and millions and millions of people that are meditating and that are praying for peace, that are shifting their own energies to care about the environment, to care about animals and the critters and all that is, right? There are so many more people moving into support for humanity and the environment and that sort of thing. And they're just very quietly doing so. So this is a wonderful opportunity to do some meditation on the 17th of September with this eclipse, and really sit with, you know, what is my part? How do I heal these particular energies? Pluto is supporting the sun, trining the sun. Pluto, the planet of death, rebirth, major transformation, is trining the sun in Virgo. The awakening is happening. Be part of it. Be part of it. Mars is also trining Saturn. Mars is traveling through Cancer, and Mr. Aries fire energy is not necessarily comfortable in Cancer, but Cancer energy is about nurturance. So Saturn is learning that we need to take actions, which is Mars, into security, creating security and nurturance, food, water, shelter, funding, money, that really has to be redistributed or balanced out. So, you know, this isn't going to happen overnight. We are in at least 10-year period, but the first thing you can do is go out and vote for progressive agenda. I want to also mention that the planet Uranus, and so there's a beautiful Uranus, the planet of shock and awe, traveling through Taurus, is also trining the sun. So we have a beautiful, beautiful grand trine, which is a gift in Earth. And so these energies are supportive of the shifts happening. This is an amazing time for healing how we love and contacting those that are estranged, you know, when it is safe to do so. And I absolutely know, again, that it is not always, but we can do the work spiritually. We can heal ourselves from those kinds of situations with people where there has been wounding, and if they've passed over, or if it's not safe to be around them, then do it in your own private space. Do the healing work for yourself. There can be some challenges or adjustments related to the stock market and funding. Just know that we are in a time of some very powerful adjustments. And these adjustments, you know, whether it's the stock market or whether it's family situations, someone, you know, an estranged loved one calling you from out of the blue, this is going to be a very powerful time of healing. And, you know, so, and healing takes time as well. You know, sometimes we get the aha moments, and then, you know, next thing we know, we find ourselves, you know, saying the same mean words or being critical of someone instead of supportive and noticing the good things they're doing. Sometimes it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So be gentle with yourself. Take time to be in nature. Take time to open your heart and remember every positive, beautiful, heart-opening experience. I just got to visit with my great-grandson who was 1 month old. And while he had a little bit of a virus that everyone caught, it was just a joy. I'm gonna cry. It was just a joy to hold him and feed him his little bottles, and a 1 month old little smiles come and go. They're not necessarily smiling. It's an automatic kind of reaction. So, but it was precious. And then hold those experiences in your heart as long as you can, and remember experiences like that, so that when times look bleak, when it looks like, the dark side is winning, which they're not going to, when it looks like that, then you can take a deep breath and you can go to that. I created a sacred meadow up in the mountains with a waterfall that I could go stand under and really wash all of the energies of the world off of me, and had the waterfall run through me to cleanse. And I put in my imagination, I put every favorite thing or person that I had in my life. My grandmother sits in a rocking chair in that meadow. So, and then I also took my rage and had a trash can and put the rage in the trash can, and then put a bouquet of roses through the handle of the trash can. And quite a miracle to go back and see that that boiling red sludge was no longer there, or it had died down to really practically nothing. So there are many ways that we can work with these energies within ourselves, that we can join and just see the earth encircled in an energetic grid of love, in order to transmute the violent energy, the rage energy, the negativity, the fear and the trauma. There's not many people on the planet at this time that have not lived and have not been traumatized. So excellent time for healing. Find ways that you can be at peace and to work with these energies. That's my little partial lunar eclipse with the moon in Pisces, sun in Virgo. If you have any questions, you can send to my email, catherineastrology@gmail.com. That's this YouTube email address, and it will be on my website as well once we launch. And I really look forward to working with any of you and all of you. I'm just so happy to be healthy, to do this work again in a much more public way. And I do promise to put up a lot more like daily videos. Once we do launch it, you can visit the website. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Really appreciate it. We are just launching this week.